want to talk?
I'm going to tell you what I know about your winter
tell
squash
me.
experiment, and
That's
you can
great.
tell me how much I'm missing.
Okay.
This is Kaylee Brow's winter squash no-till experiment, designed 2019, January.
Yeah.
Implemented now, 2020. So this is a half acre of land, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we are going to put our winter squash down here and do a side-by-side tilled no-till experiment. So for each, we're going to split the field in half. On one half, we will not use a tractor really at all except for to mow once. On the other half, we'll grow everything the way we usually do.
Yeah.
In both fields, we will otherwise put the same varieties of winter squash and treat them the same in terms of irrigation, planting time, harvest time. And we will pay attention to yield as we go to make an assessment of, hey, we want to no-till, we like to no-till, would it work for us?
Yeah.
And so on the no-till side, we're going to let this rye grow, we're going to mow it down, and then we're going to pull some tarps over that mowed rye, and that will terminate it, aka kill it. And so then we'll pull the tarp, we'll let the tarps sit there a couple weeks, do their thing. We'll pull the tarps off, and on the in the field will be debris kind of looking like this. And then we're going to plant straight through the debris into the soil. And hopefully that debris will act as a mulch to keep weeds from growing up and keep the soil probably a little more protected and moist and stuff. So that's the no-till side.
Yep.
And on the till side, the rye will also grow.
Mm-hmm.
We will mow it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will take our tractor and disc it, incorporating it into the soil so it looks like the field with the cover crops.
Yeah.
Bare soil.
Yeah.
And then we will plant our winter squash into bare earth. And because the earth is bare, weeds will want to grow up. So we'll have to cultivate it several times. And I forgot, but in both we'll also put fertilizer down.
Yeah, the same amount.
Same amount of fert.
Yeah.
How'd I do?
You did great. I think we're going to try to estimate the amount of diesel fuel that we use. And of course we will keep track of the amount of time it takes to weed the no-till side if weeds do grow, because we won't be able to use a tractor because all of that mulch will be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to calculate labor costs, material costs including diesel, and in those labor costs include the weeding time, and then see how the yield compares.
And over time we'll also collect like anecdotal evidence of like how the plants look, if they're stressed when it's dry out on one side versus the other.
What the pest pressure is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the reason we're choosing winter squash is because it has the least plant density per acre of any of the crops that we grow, because we just plant one plant like 1.5 to 3 feet apart from the next plant in the bed. And because we're going to be planting the no-till stuff by hand, we wanted to do that with as few plants as possible while we're figuring it out.
Excellent. Great. And I think that almost regardless of the data, but not fully regardless, no-till is something we want to continue to incorporate in increasing amounts on the farm.
Yeah. And especially because, like, if this experiment fails, I definitely want to try again next year, because no-till, the benefits of no-till can be hard to see in the first year. It's kind of a cumulative thing. Once you stop tilling, you stop bringing weed seeds to the surface of the soil, you stop disturbing soil microbes, and so it really does add up year after year.
Yeah, so even in this same field, we'll pick crops next year, 2021, that we can also no-till and maybe do another side-by-side experiment.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent.